the black community, the older generation, I feel like they age downwards, not age upwards.
Women find themselves having to be masculine because of circumstances.
Yeah, 100%.
Some of them they didn't orchestrate by themselves solely.
Yeah, the only thing that you are responsible for is the boundary you set. You are not responsible for their emotions behind that.
As we get older, do you find that we have to give our parents grace? No woman wakes up and go, oh yeah, I want to be masculine today. I want to make all the decisions. I want to do this. I want to show up for myself in every element in my life.
Yeah.
On today's episode of Hey Sis, we're going to talk about what it is to actually be a soft woman.
Soft girl era.
My baby looking too good, yeah, she perfect. No, she worth it. When she pull up, all them man, them flirting. And yeah, she know that she a dime. Call up on my line. Told her, baby, bring it one time. Yeah, just sit down and relax.
Yo, what's really good, though? It's your girl, YezziYezzir, and you are locked in, whether you're watching or listening to another banging episode of Hey Sis. And today, we got a good sis in the building. Like, we're about to get into it, and it's been a long time coming. Please, warm welcome wherever you are, whether you're listening on Spotify or watching on YouTube. We got the good sis Ree in the building, or should we say Ree Rose Management?
Yeah,
Ree Rose Management. So for the people that don't know Ree, please tell them what it is you exactly do.
So my 9 to 5 is HR. Been HR for a very long time, but my true passion is artist development. So I do artist management, but I also do creative management for other creatives too.
Okay. And you've just launched it now?
Yes, I've done my relaunch. Finally happy with what it looks like. But just basically trying to navigate the areas of like managing other creatives and the niches that they have around that.
I love that.
Yeah.
So if you don't know and you're looking for management, I know you already got some people on your books as it is.
Yeah.
But if someone's really worth it, would you take them on?
100%.
Yeah.
Like I always say that anybody that I work with has to work harder than me. Like I can't go harder for you for your own career than you're going for yourself. So yeah.
No, absolute facts. And we're going to put all your socials down below so you can, if you're good though, don't be sliding DMs and you know you're not good.
Levels.
Okay? Because she's already got artists on her books, but we're about to get into it. On today's episode of Hey Sis, we're going to talk about what it is to actually be a soft woman.
Soft girl era.
Soft girl era. We see it online all the time. And it's got me thinking, okay, what is the modern day soft woman? What does she look like?
I think with that, I think there's two sides to it. I think there is the true definition, and I think there is the social definition.
Okay.
I think there's a whole movement of being in your soft girl era that I think kind of leads more to one side around women being in a place where like the man does everything rather than the balance of a woman's masculine and feminine energy. I think it leans too much to one side on the social element of it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I think it's getting a bit scary now because before people would say that women are getting a lot more masculine and you're like, yeah, whatever. But then you notice that, women are getting a lot more masculine.
100%.
But it's like people don't like to admit why women are getting more masculine.
Why do you think that is there?
Oh, I think the opportunity just, I wouldn't say it's offered up, but you find yourself having to be masculine when your femininity isn't allowed to just be yourself.
100%, yeah.
So when you require certain things, whether it be in a relationship, whether it be in a family structure, masculine traits being, I don't know, leadership, for example. Yeah, that's more typically in societal standards a masculine trait, to be a leader, to be able to make decisions. When that's absent, whether it be in a family or in a romantic relationship, you find yourself looking around like, I need to do this because if I don't, I'm going to drown. Yeah. And it's unfortunate.
Yeah, 100%. And I think I can relate to that because I was a single parent for a very, very long time. Yeah. And I am the mother, the father, the breadwinner, everything. So you sit more side on the masculine, in the masculine space so that you ensure like everything in your dynamic runs like clockwork. But when you have the masculine and the feminine, like there's a different type of synergy to it. Oh yeah. Then you just carrying it on your own. So
it's tiring because no woman wakes up and go, oh yeah, I want to be masculine today. I want to make all the decisions. I want to do this. I want to show up for myself in every element in my life. Yeah. Women find themselves having to be masculine because of circumstances.
Yeah, 100%.
Some of them they didn't orchestrate by themselves solely. Yeah. Okay, because I'll admit, if there's a breakdown in communication or whatever, two people make a relationship, that's fine. Yeah. But they're not the only reason why they've had to be masculine. No. So then you know this is happening, society will say, oh yeah, we're in an epidemic of women wanting to be the man and the man wanting to be the woman. And then you meet someone in a relationship that's not prepared to say, listen, let me unburden you of having to be masculine. Here you go, be feminine. Yeah. Not a lot of people offer up that option there.
I think the core of what that is safety. And I think especially in the black community, there's no, on both sides, black women and black men don't allow each other to be each other's safe space. Like, I feel like there's a constant conflict. Like, every time I go on social media, it's always like black men berating black women, or black women berating black men. And it's like, well, if we're both feeling the same way about each other, how do we find a common ground to actually have the conversation? But then there's a lack of vulnerability. So then it doesn't help that.
Do you think where we've come from, we can't have that relationship of vulnerability anymore because of things like slavery, colonialism, just even migrating to different countries? Black people haven't had the time to say, oh, I can be soft and vulnerable because I'm comfortable where I'm at.
Ultimately, it might sound a bit mad, but I think it's an excuse. And the reason why I think it's an excuse is because I know what my ancestors went through. I know what my grandparents went through. But ultimately, I'm an adult. Yeah. I have the choice to decide the direction of my own life. So there comes a point where you become responsible for self. And if you're going to continue to carry things that happened when you weren't even around, potentially, to affect your life and you living it forward, because everybody wants to say YOLO, live your best life, but really and truly, like, are you actually getting to the core of that and living your best life? Or are you making excuses for everything else that happened before you to stop you from living your life? And I was one of those people, but not because of slavery or anything like that, but because of my dynamics with my parents. Straight. I blamed a lot of my shortcomings on my parents because I felt like they didn't do what they were supposed to do. But ultimately, everybody only has one shot at life. That was my parents' only one shot at life. So how can I expect them to know everything when I'm doing the exact same thing that they're doing now, that they were doing before for myself?
As we get older, do you find that we have to give our parents grace? Because like you said, they only had one shot. Yeah. A lot of parents from a certain generation, they were parents in their 20s. Yeah. That's not a small deal. No. And then they were parents in their 20s, migrating to a country they've never been to before, a system that they don't know about. A lot of them, English maybe being their second language. Yeah. And then we look at them and go, why didn't you do better?
I think there is, because, do you know, I read a book, It's called Adult Children to Immature Parents, It's the best book I ever read, because it allowed me to understand. I feel like, especially like in the black community, the old generation, I feel like they age downwards, not age upwards.
Okay, break that down for me.
So I feel like there's a point where like they have to manage all these things in their youth. They have to take care of children. But as they get older, because of the lack of responsibility that they have when their children are older, I feel like they almost like become more childlike in a sense. And then there's certain things and certain wisdoms that they have, I feel like, deplete over time. And I don't know if like it's solely like because of, I don't know, maybe the climate that we live in, or like the lack of interaction with the children, or things like that. But I feel like there's an element of them like not knowing how to navigate certain things that, I guess, in a sense, because we are who we are at this point and this time, for us, it's instantaneous. But for them, there's a lot of relearning they have to do, especially as the climate has excelled. Yeah. It's almost like they're still behind because of where they are. So it almost affects where they would be age-wise in terms of maneuvering like the Western world as it is now.
I don't think a lot of the older generation that are not from Western society, so to speak, I don't think they took technology seriously. No. I think that the world they knew, they thought was going to be like that forever. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, technology comes, AI, all these infrastructures. Yeah. And they just find themselves not wanting to give into it. No. So if they can't understand it, they don't want to do it. That's why you find a lot of parents, it's like, oh, if I haven't got my own business, I'm not going to go and work. Yeah. Because that's a whole world. I'm not going to have someone be my manager that I'm old enough to be their parent. Yeah. And then the isolation sits in. Yep. And that's why I'm like, rah, that's why you have certain parts of London specifically where there are people, I'd hate to sound like that person. Yeah. But They can't speak English.
No.
They don't mix with other ethnic groups. They don't know what's going on around the world because they refuse to just not assimilate, but just understand the world that's going on around them.
It's like they're just stuck in a place and don't budge. Like it's just, and it's hard as well because, like, if you go back to like the soft girl stuff, like, I think the older generation never had the opportunity to experience that whatsoever.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of it was, I think especially like from my experience of like my parents and my grandparents, it's like my granddad was very much get a job, buy a house, take care of your family.
Yeah.
And there are roles that a man kind of plays. And I think as long as they've played those roles and ticked those boxes, it's never about, sometimes I feel, how they create the space for a woman to feel safe in order to feel soft. I think it was very much, I don't know, I feel like back then it was more stringent, it was more militant.
Yeah.
It was more like a one tick box. There was no grey areas. There was no room for very much emotion. And I think because of what I've seen with my own family around how they deal with emotion and the level of emotional intelligence, it kind of, you can kind of see like no one really speaks about emotions. No one doesn't speak about taboo subjects. It's all kind of like, I don't know, it's almost like monotone in a sense.
Yeah, just get on with it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's why I was looking at when I had that slogan of drink tea and carry on.
Yeah.
And it's very quintessentially British to be like, oh, you know, just carry on. We're not phased. We have this mask. We're British. We just keep calm. Mm-hmm. But then you have that, and then you come home to maybe a family that's not from England.
Yeah.
And they're very much dutiful in the sense of, oh, we've got our roles to play.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's very black and white. There's no grey. And that grey, most of the time, is depression.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people grew up thinking that their parents, oh, this is what they are. This is just their personality trait. No, your mum's depressed.
Yeah.
Your dad's depressed.
Yeah. But remember back then, depression to them wasn't real.
No.
Any mental health issue, it wasn't real. Mm-hmm. You just need to build a bridge and get over it. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just making noise for no reason. And I think that, like, even from generations, like, that in itself has this filtered down. So it's almost like, yeah, well, you should be grateful, build a bridge, get over it. Like, there's no, the whole emotional element, like, no one wants to feed into that. And I think ultimately that comes a lot from people not wanting to face their own emotions.
Yes, because just if we circle to the whole soft girl era, one of the main things I see is, oh, get yourself a lazy girl job.
Yeah.
And there's this thing about lazy girl jobs are the ones that are just, you know, you do very minimal, you're in an office, it's very cute, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's funny that, and let's just talk about, as from the perspective of a black woman, when we say a lazy girl job, it's basically the standard for a lot of other people.
Yeah.
Your standard job shouldn't have to stress you out. You shouldn't have to feel like you're working overtime. You go in, you do your bog standard role. But the fact that we have to call it lazy is actually troubling.
Yeah.
Because we're so used to having to do more than we should have to do.
Yeah.
That anything less than that is, I'm feeling lazy. And that's how I grew up, in the sense of, it's hard for me to relax.
Yeah.
I would be in the living room. If I hear a key through the door, it's one of my parents, I got to look busy. I got to do a chore. I got to read. I got to do something. And then you move out and it's like you have to relearn how to be relaxed. Mm-hmm. I wake up in the morning and I'm just like, hold on.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to do something. Mind you, I've worked my ass off this week.
Yeah.
But I still feel guilty that I'm not doing something right now.
And I can 100% relate to that, because I feel like I've always been somebody that's like non-stop back to back. And it wasn't until I moved out I realized how much space and room I had for myself. And then it's like, whenever I relax, my mum used to say to me, yeah, but I work 2 jobs. I raised my family. I did this. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, but bro, like, I'm not you. Like, you decide that you want to be on your feet. Like, let me tell you something. If I'm not going to load the dishwasher today, it will be loaded tomorrow. But my mum, she will literally stay up and load and do all that stuff. And I just realised that it's such a way of life for them.
Yeah.
It's so embedded. It's sad. Because then I look at them and I'm like, you actually need to give yourself grace. Yeah. Because it actually leads to so many things. It leads to stress. Then you live... You don't live as long as you want to.
Oh, yeah, because most of the aunties, what have they got? Either high blood pressure or diabetes.
2 things.
And the aunties, I love you.
Yeah,
but the high blood pressure and the diabetes, it's got to stop.
It has to.
The next generation can't be doing that and mentioning it like it's a norm. We need to find out what is the issue.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sad because they're at a point also where, as their children, we want them to change.
Yeah.
But they don't want to change because they're just stuck in their ways at that point. But it's sad because I wish my mum got to experience the soft girl era for herself. I think she's doing it for herself now.
It's never too late though, no?
No, I don't. I agree with you. I think sometimes it's hard because I think there's a lot of work that has to be done for you to get to that point.
Oh yeah. Like even allowing yourself to be a soft girl, like treating yourself. Yeah. Sometimes we think treating ourselves is, you know what's sad is when we feel like the bare minimum we're supposed to do, looking after ourselves, is a treat.
Yeah.
But then you go online and you see the other girlies going, yeah, this is my monthly maintenance. And you think, oh, this is what you do every month. Oh, okay. I do this when I'm going on holiday or it's my birthday. But this is your usual every month upkeep. Oh, I need to do better for me.
But I think that feeds into, I think the strong black woman narrative doesn't sit kindly with soft girl era at all.
Ooh, talk about it.
I think it's very much detached from that. I feel like we are built to be robots. No matter what is thrown at us, we're supposed to take it and deal with it and still get on with stuff. And I think that's why I don't call myself a strong black woman. I don't.
It triggers me. I
refuse to sit in that box.
Sorry. Can I have a tissue, please?
Yeah, I refuse. It's okay. I refuse to sit in that box. Mm-hmm. I'm very much like, all I want to do is basically authentically be me.
Yeah. No, of course. It's for me now that as time's going by, this one's fine. Thank you. It's that strong black woman. It's becoming a bit of an insult now.
100%.
So when people continuously go, "Oh, you're so strong. You're so strong," it's like, what are you trying to say? Is it that I take a lot of rubbish? Is it that I'm enduring things that I have no business enduring? But now you're trying to make it a term of endearment by calling me a strong black, which is very evident.
Exactly.
And then woman, again, things that are very evident. So the black woman is void.
100%.
The strong is questionable.
Yeah.
And it goes hand in hand with the you're pretty for a
black girl.
So where are we really going right now? Because this is what we want to keep having a conversation about.
Yeah.
It's like during the Olympics. I'm going to say it. I just feel like you can compliment people without having to emphasize, oh, can you believe how pretty these athletes are? It's like, hold on. First and foremost, it's the Olympics. We're here for sport.
100%.
We're here to talk about how well someone did in their sport.
Yeah.
Then people go, oh my God, all these female athletes are so pretty.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say? They're ugly?
It's so wild, how like people default to a stereotype so quickly, and it just goes to show the level of narrow-mindedness and the intelligence level of that person. And I don't think things will change unless people actually face themselves and do the work to become the best version of themselves. Because I think it's all well and good us having these conversations, but ultimately it ends with an action. And if that action is not taken, then nothing's going to change.
No, nothing will change because... And you might want to do your action in a small way by dropping a comment. And I felt to myself, okay, you know what? Someone's being complimented in this moment. If I now drop a comment that's against the majority, I look like a hater. But when I kept seeing people go on and on about, oh, all these women that are doing the athletics, they're so attractive, they're so pretty. Oh my God, can you believe it? And then I thought to myself, all those years you lot were insulting Serena Williams. When she was playing a sport, her beauty has nothing to do. Shouldn't be a topic of conversation. No. Yet you kept bringing it in. And it makes me feel like, is soft girl era exclusive to how pretty you are? Because it's like, sometimes you see certain think pieces where it's, the prettier you are, the more allowance you have to be a soft girl.
I think it's become an aesthetic. And I think you have to live by certain tick boxes to fit that. But I think, for me personally, a soft girl era is subjective. Ultimately, I feel like whatever you feel like is soft for you is where you should be comfortable. I think we call certain things, but that, like, I think it's so big, the meaning behind it for everybody. Everybody's experience is different. Everybody's level is different. But no one actually wants to, I feel like, sit outside of the aesthetic and be a true soft girl to themselves first and foremost, before they even allow somebody else to treat them. Because ultimately, if you don't treat somebody how to treat you, then you won't it's not going to make sense.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't understand what your own standard is in your soft girl era, then how can you expect to be treated by that way by somebody else?
It's true, actually. I think it reminds me of this time where it was so annoying, where everyone was just going crazy over Birkin bags.
Oh, yeah.
So then that started to become everyone's standard. If he's not getting you a Birkin, does he really like you? Oh, you're dating this type of guy, but did he get you a Birkin?
Yeah, but what can you fit inside that bag, though? Let's be real. Like, you can't fit nothing inside.
Yeah, you know, the different types of Birkins. But then it's like, hold on. Are you setting your personal standard based on what you've seen your fellow woman have?
Yeah.
Do you want a Birkin?
Yeah.
Like, do you genuinely want a Birkin? And if a Birkin means to you how much someone likes you, then, okay, what's the next thing? Because if the majority say, okay, we all getting flown out or we're all getting this kind of car, is the rest of your life based on what everyone else is doing?
Yeah.
Hey, I see you watching. You're over there, you're sipping, having a cuppa, but there's a few things you haven't done. Can you imagine? What do they need to do, Ree?
Subscribe.
You heard it. You need to subscribe. You need to like, and you need to drop a comment. Stop being stingy. We're going to give you a bit of time to do that.
Yeah. Talk your truth.
Talk your truth. Okay. I think it's time we get back to the episode, yeah?
Yeah.
Is the rest of your life based on what everyone else is doing?
Yeah. I think it is. And I think that's what it falls back into again. The aesthetic. The aesthetic and the trend that somebody has created around what soft girl looks like. And ultimately, it's actually got nothing to do with materialistic things. Yeah. It's like, if we actually get to the root core of it, if we're aligning femininity with soft girl era, it actually has nothing to do with anything material.
So what does a soft girl look like in a relationship?
I think it's got to do with vulnerability, feeling safe, and also allowing somebody to take care of you in ways that you would probably deem as masculine for yourself.
Okay.
I feel like I went through this before, where whenever I would try to fix something, I wouldn't allow my partner to fix it. I was like, no, I'm going to see it through to the end. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to build the wardrobe. I'm not going to let you do anything. Yeah. But ultimately, I think that's just because I was so stuck in that space of being in my masculine, because I always did everything. I didn't think I needed help. And I think there's a big space in help where vulnerability is required.
Yeah.
And I think that helps contribute to you sitting more in your feminine space. And it's not even a gender role thing. Yeah. But it's just about letting someone help you sometimes do things that you necessarily probably didn't want to do, but you know you just had to do it. But if there's somebody there that's going to do that for you, I think you should allow it. And it doesn't mean that it should be in excess. It doesn't mean that you should let that person do everything for you, because everybody has their own sense of individualism. But I think that the burden that you carry, especially as a woman, feeling like you have to hold down the fort, you being vulnerable and allowing that person to help you in those spaces is where you sit in your feminine space.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I think with now, that's what's going on, is the transition. We're seeing that shift of masculine women kind of looking at the soft girl.
Like, I want that.
You know, they're saying to themselves, I like it, but how do I get there?
Yeah.
And I think it's hard when you're doing that, where you have a role where you are someone's partner, where you are a parent, because now you're changing who you are.
Yeah.
And a lot of people might not know you to be like that. A lot of people they're comfortable with the person they've known for so long. Because I've seen certain clips where a man, they'll ask the man, what do you like about her? You know, she organizes the family, she does this, she is very serving things. Like, oh, you serve me in this way.
Yeah.
But if some of the ways you serve the person is in a masculine way, how do you tell your partner, oh yeah, you know, I know you're used to me doing this, but I don't want to do this anymore because it's quite masculine and I want to be more feminine?
Do you know what I think though?
Yeah.
I don't think, it might sound mad, but I don't think that them being masculine all the time is actually truly who they are.
As a woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think what it is that I think women that are heavily masculine come from a place of survival.
Oh, 100%.
And maintaining their empire. And I think really and truly, I feel like femininity is built in us. Yes, we have masculine energy, but we more so sit on the feminine side.
Yeah.
And I think when you are over masculine, I don't think you're being true to who you are. I think you're very much sitting in survival mode because you have to. You don't have a choice.
Okay, yeah.
And I feel like if you were given the space to do that, I think you would be very much receptive to it. But I also think that you have to work on yourself internally to be able to feel safe in that happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know someone, and I've asked them beforehand, so nobody tried to get on to me. I know someone who is in a relationship. Yeah. And she's been in a relationship for a very long time. She's been with this person since secondary school.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think she's mid-30s now.
Yeah.
She has a very, very hard time asking her partner for money. But this is in circumstances when she needs it, not just like, for frivolous things.
Okay.
So she would rather ask her friendship group.
Yeah.
So I kind of sat with her and was like, I'm not being funny or anything like that.
Yeah.
But have you asked your partner?
Yeah.
First before you've asked us? Because we're really close like that. And she's like, I don't feel comfortable asking for money. And I was like, I don't mean to be rude, sis, but you do a whole lot of other things with him.
But do you think that, right, so aside like the whole kind of soft girl feminine stuff, do you think that also could be an element of people just not being comfortable talking about finances? I'm not gonna lie, finances is very difficult to talk about
with your partner though.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah. For my situation, it was very hard for me because I was very much masculine, doing my own thing. I managed everything. Yeah. And allowing somebody, we merge our finances because we live together. But I think it's hard because there's so many layers to finances. Certain people are not comfortable with themselves. Yeah. And trying to work through finances themselves to then open somebody else to that. Yeah. There's so many emotions that can come behind that. Down to credit score, how much money you make. Yeah. So the uncomfortability it doesn't necessarily have to be an element of like, the whole masculine feminine thing, but it might be an element of I'm just not comfortable with the finance topic yet. We're not there yet.
You know what? You know what's ringing through my head, yeah? And maybe this is just like the black and white upbringing from me, yeah? But I find it wild when people say, I'm not comfortable talking about finances with my partner. And I'm like, but you lay with this person. You guys have done everything under the sun. Yeah. You've seen each other naked, all that stuff. Yeah. But you can't say, I'm in debt right now.
People don't want to have the hard conversations. Do you know it is? Yeah. My mum always said to me, there's certain questions that you should ask somebody before you actually go into anything long-term with someone. Okay. And that is about the relationship with their parents, their finances, their views on finance, marriage, children, like all the heavy stuff. Yeah. And I don't think a lot of women, especially I would say, are prepared to have those conversations. I think there's very much a narrative of my man got to take care of me. Yeah. Not about what it is that I need to prepare for myself as a woman to enter into a relationship with somebody so that there is like some sort of balance between the both of them. Yeah. And sometimes I think that is also a grey area. It's very hard for people to talk about, especially face it themselves. Yeah. So I think there's an element of like, it's hard because I think for everybody, there are things that they put on a pedestal and there are things that they don't. So it could be easier for somebody to share their body with somebody, but not necessarily want to share the area of finance because of how they emotionally feel to it or how emotionally tied to it. And I think that's what it is. I think one thing I've learned is that everybody has emotional ties to different things in their life and the intensity of those things vary. Yeah. So even though we look at it from the outside and we're like, but hold on, you lay down with this person, you do this with this person. But ultimately, I don't know what your walk is behind that topic in your relationship as to why you feel like that. And I think because we're not in a space where like people want to be safe with each other and vulnerable with each other, they don't want to have those conversations because they are hard to have. Yeah. It's not easy. And especially if you're not educated, financial literacy is so hard to understand for some people. And until you get to that place yourself, then you can go and have that conversation. It starts with self. It's so hard, but no one wants to do the work.
No, people want to do the work in theory, but like you said, it's scary to do the work. Because if we look at the modern day soft girl, whether it be the millennial soft girl, the Gen Z soft girl, how do they even approach dating? Do you start light and heavy? Do you start heavy and light? Especially we're in a world where people are just like, we need to take things easy. Everyone's starting to do interviews at the first date. And I'm so sorry if it feels like an interview, but these questions need to be asked. Because when you're talking about, hey, what's your view on family, children, marriage, all that stuff? Yeah. There's a lot of men that will be on the table going, I'm not going to call her after this date.
Do you know what? The interview thing's cool, yeah? If you want if you just want somebody, if you want a body there and no emotion behind it. Like for me, it works hand in hand.
Yeah.
I can have conversations with you over time, but ultimately I want to see how you interact with your family. I want to see how you interact and navigate financial situations. Like for me, it has to be both, and I have to see both.
Yeah.
And I think people can sit there and they can say all these things about, yeah, if I was in this situation, I'd act like this. But when the situation actually comes, you see a completely whole different person.
Sure, you gotta wait for that, because it's a journey.
Yeah, and then you're sitting there like, well, you want who you told me to be. Like, but how is that person? They always say, if you want to know who somebody is, let them show you who they are. And ultimately, I think that is the truest thing I've ever kind of sat with in my life, because ultimately, you can say whatever you want to say to me, but when you're feeling all those emotions behind a particular situation, your reaction is going to be different. If you say that you're gonna lose your house tomorrow, you're not going to sit there and say to me, yeah, I'm going to be calm and I'm going to strategically find out how I'm going to navigate the situation. No, you're not going to do that. You're going to panic and you're going to cry and you're going to think, oh my God, like, what do I need to do to get out of this situation before you even take the steps you need to?
Ooh, it's so true with that one.
Don't forget to subscribe to Hey Sis UK so you never miss out on an episode.
So when it comes to soft girl, I feel that, like you said, it's very heavy on aesthetic and stuff.
Yeah.
But people don't talk about, okay, what is it, the framework that allows you to continue being a soft girl without compromising who you are? So let's go and tap into boundaries.
Okay.
Of a soft girl, whether you're in your family dynamic. Let's talk about that. Because when it comes to being a daughter for me, I feel the hardest thing transitioning out of a family, immediate family, and then creating my own family, being married now, is that people are having to come to terms with the fact of my availability and access. Yeah. So I want to be a soft girl. Yeah. But it's like the role is being expanded, because you have to cater to your husband, you have to cater to siblings, your parents and all that. And then sometimes something's got to go. Not completely, but for example, you might want to keep Sundays for yourself, or a day within the week for yourself. Yeah. How do we even set up boundaries and still remain soft without coming across as hard? Because people always see boundaries as a hard thing.
I think, but that's because I just think there's a negative stigma against that anyway. And I don't think any which way, respectfully, even if you relay what you want to, as soft as you do, I don't think it's gonna make any slightest bit of a difference. I think the moment that somebody no longer has access to you in the way they did before is a scary space for them. And it could be for a number of reasons. Yeah. It could be they feel like it will probably remove the connection you had in your relationship with them, or you may have been good use to them as to why they don't want to. Like, there's so many things behind that, but I think ultimately the only thing that you are responsible for is the boundary you set. You are not responsible for their emotions behind that, because it's so unfair for you to hold on to somebody's emotions and make yourself unhappy in the meantime. You can't do that to yourself.
So are we saying that your reaction to my boundary is your problem?
Yes, 100%.
I don't think they want to hear that.
Quite frankly, it's the truth. No, seriously, I've had to learn that. I said, like, I love my mum to death. Yeah. And I used to drop everything for my mum. And there comes a point where, like, you start... Like, there was a lot of guilt of not doing something for my mum or doing something for myself and making sure my mum was good. But I think ultimately, my mum's lived her life. I'm now living mine. And in order for me to have the best quality of life for myself, for my daughter, and for the family I'm building with my partner, it's going to require those boundaries. Yeah. Like neither here or there. Like, if I know I want that over there and that's the type of life I want, there are things that are not going to align with the journey of me going there. So I'm going to have to say no. And ultimately, I can't hold on to how you're going to feel about it, because ultimately you're not extending me the same grace by understanding how I'm going to feel if I do that for you and I take away something from myself or what I want to do. You're not giving me the same grace in that sense. So really and truly, it's either you want to be happy for me and you want to see me flourish and you want to see me set healthy boundaries, so I can get to where I want to get to, so I live a fruitful life. You can't sit there and say you want to be happy for me and then get mad at every boundary I set. What is that?
We're going to talk about it. We've touched on being a soft girl in a family structure. Yeah. We've touched on being a soft girl when it comes to your relationship. But let's talk about being a soft girl as a parent. Can you still be a soft girl and be a parent today?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
And I learned that the hard way. I think I put myself on the back burner so many years with my daughter because there's this narrative that your child is always a priority. And I was on social media and I kept seeing, I think there was a guy that spoke about it, and I think Kelly Rowland spoke about it as well, about how at the end of the day, they're going to grow up and they're going to live their own lives. And they're going to have their own priorities. And it's just going to be you and your partner. And you wasted so much time solely prioritizing your child. There's nothing between you and your partner. And you can sit there in the house when you're old and not speak to each other because you never focused on your relationship because you made your child a sole priority. And I think being a soft girl and being a parent, you have to find a balance in that. Otherwise, you don't maintain the elements of your relationship.
Ooh, that's so scary. You know what's so funny? Because you grow up being told all the time, oh, when you come have kids come first. So you think, okay, that's part and parcel with everything. Yeah. But hearing you say, no, you still gotta...
You have to. Yeah. Because I was a person, like, I wasn't going to go out. I refused to leave my child with anybody. I was going to stay at home regardless. Whatever she needed, she was going to get, even if it meant that I didn't buy clothes for myself or I didn't go anywhere. And then you get to a point where, like, you completely lose yourself. And then you wonder why certain things in your life are not working. Why you don't feel the same way about yourself, or why you can't get a partner or you can't date. And then you start to realize, like, that all those elements, like, are part of you living your life and building the life that you want at the end of it. And then you have nothing left. And then you're lonely, or you pass away and there's nothing. And you think to yourself, like, what did I actually do with my life? So I think now, as much as I hate to hear her cry, I'm very much like, no, mommy's got a life too. Yeah. So you can go be with your cousins. I'm going to do this over there.
No, that's so good. Yeah. You brought up something, and it's a scary world we're living in, man. Yeah. Very scary. Yeah. How do you as a parent finally come to terms with the fact of, I'm ready to leave my child with other people? Yeah. Because it's dangerous times we're in right now.
Yeah, it is. I think for me, I have a good, solid and family network. Like, it took a while for us to get to the place that we're in. I feel like my family are a lot more open now in terms of mindset, which allows me to feel more comfortable with leaving her there. And I think she's just of the age as well where, like, I feel comfortable because she can narrate what she needs to narrate to me if anything does happen, kind of thing. And she's an energy child. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why for me, I don't feel as apprehensive leaving her with family members, because if she doesn't like you, like, she'll scream her head off and she just won't come near you. She doesn't care. But I think it's very much about trust and the relationship that you build with those family members. I would never leave my daughter with somebody that I speak to once every 6 months. Yeah. I just wouldn't do it. And ultimately, yes, you don't know everybody, but to a certain degree behind closed doors. But ultimately, there are certain conversations that you have around certain topics that should give you an understanding of what the person's like. So I'm watching them with other family members or other children in the family as to why I would leave her there over the next person.
Oh, even within your own family? Yeah. Okay. So you're constantly studying people?
Yeah, because I feel like it's hard because there's a lot of things that happen in families that people feel are acceptable because they are your family. And I refuse to put my daughter in a situation because somebody feels like something's acceptable when I feel like it's not. It doesn't align with me. So if she doesn't feel comfortable and I don't feel comfortable, she won't go there, family or not. Yeah. Yeah.
It's nice that you let her explore her own discernment.
100%.
As a child. Yeah. Because you got a lot of the older generation. It's like, go and hug this person. Yeah. Go and sit on this person's lap. Yeah. Let the child feel like if they want to do that. And if they don't, take that seriously.
100%. Because then they will never talk to you if something goes wrong. Because they always feel like you're dictating what they should do. They don't have a voice. Yeah.
It's true. Yeah. I think that's something that the older generation can learn when they see your generation having children. Yeah. And seeing how you interact with your own child. Like, okay, she lets her speak up and speak her mind and make decisions for herself within reason.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a T, right? That's okay, that's T. Okay, so final takeaways for the soft girl era, what it means to be a soft girl, the misconceptions of it, where people feel like, oh yeah, you're totally feminine, you're ignorant to that fact. Because a lot of people feel like if you're feminine within a relationship, you're just on autopilot and you just let your guy lead the way, do everything, you're not doing anything.
Oh no, this is so much more than that. Yeah. It's so much more than that. I feel like it gave me a new sense of empowerment being feminine in my relationship. Like, it allowed me to really kind of look at myself and give myself a lot more than what I was giving before. And I don't think until people get to that place, rather than think about the elements of like the physicalities of somebody doing something for you and you not doing anything, it should be more about how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
And if it makes you feel weightless and relaxed and you can enjoy the life you live, then that is what you should hold on to. Yeah, it shouldn't be about what it looks like. And really and truly, no one shouldn't be in anybody's business anyway. Like, it's people's relationship. Don't get involved. Like,
no, it's true. I think you see things where it's like, oh, to be a soft girl, you're numb, you're on autopilot, you're not doing anything.
No.
But like you said, it's about having that weightless feeling.
Yeah.
That relief, knowing that you don't have to be hard.
Yeah.
Hence saying soft girl.
Mm-hmm.
So final takeaways. What is your opinion on the soft girl era?
My opinion on the soft girl era is that, I don't know, I think
this is you speaking to a hard girl at home. So if you think you're hard or masculine right now, what would you say to them? Someone that's wanting to enter into the soft girl era.
Sis, work on yourself. Find what truly makes you feel soft to the point where you're not scared.
Yeah.
That like literally that's all, like the fear is what I feel drives the masculinity. Work on yourself, give yourself your own safe space. Treat yourself soft first before you allow somebody to come and treat you soft.
It's true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a word right there.
Yeah.
Okay, my final takeaway with the soft girl era is a soft girl, you don't need a certain amount of money.
No.
You don't need to look a certain way. You don't need to be in a relationship. You don't even have to be working a certain type of job.
No.
It is a discovery.
Yep.
And it's your type of soft girl.
100%.
Because there is no, I know there's a little different soft girl archetypes going around, but it's whatever feels like you feel soft.
Exactly.
That's your soft girl. That's your version of your soft girl. So do that, discover it, and be okay with it not looking like the atypical soft girl
100%
look. But until then, Ree, is there anything anyone should look out for? Anything you got coming up?
Not at the moment. I'm solely focusing on development, which is hard. It's very much background stuff. So if you do want to get involved and you want to work on the development aspect, reach out to me. I also consult as well, so you don't have to stay with us. I can just help you out. One-to-one. Yeah, one-to-one.
A young Zoom.
Yeah.
We love to hear it. In the description box, you will see all of Ree's details so you can get in touch with her if you're serious now. Yeah. You don't want no jokesters.
No.
As for me, make sure we are on our milestone right now. We've smashed 10K on the Instagram page, HeySis_UK. We're reaching for 20. We're also building a team. We got the GoFundMe, of course. So if you want to help us build our team of people that are here on the mission of having uncomfortable conversations to get to a comfortable place, then just look down below. While you're down below, and while you're down there, subscribe. Until then, you have been listening or watching to another banging episode of Hey Sis. Stay blessed. Bye.
And I wanna get more of that.
I undress and he blows success. Lay down as you decompress. Come mine and forget the stress. Got the 9 to 5 cause he tryna change his life. He can't help it but to show his bad side. So he call me Jesse when he want that good ride. Follow my stride, you know you want a good time. Pick any card, I know it won't decline. He know how to please me, never tease me. Keep me in Givenchy, laced in Gucci. Quick, take the keys and drive to Chelsea. Eat a Scalini, order linguine. He ordered the chateau, we got it to go, then flew to the chateau. You already know, friends telling me they see the glow. There's no way they know, well I guess it shows. That's a seed you sow.